This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Last time on the Damage Guild podcast.
A newly discovered grove full of valuable herbs was found a short distance from here.
We head to the grove.
You spot a figure ahead, sitting on a fallen tree.
Apparently there's been some gremlins sighted nearby.
What did you say your name was again?
It's Kardain, Deep Fury.
My name is Zara Ebenvale.
And I am Verrol of House Vanject.
A little woodling pokes around Kardain's head. You can call him Braun.
This is my raven, Mr. Crowley.
You see a large toad-like creature. Roll initiative.
Initiative in PF2E is based on whatever skill you were just using, right? For exploration?
Yes, so if you were sneaking, you can use stealth.
Would survival not work in this case, maybe?
Probably not.
Okay, I'll do a perception.
Alright, so Zara gets a 12.
Verrol's going on a 10.
I'm on a 20.
Nice.
Well, the very first thing that happens is something up on the ceiling inside of that chamber that you couldn't see in the darkness, and from behind the overhang on the rocks shoots out this wad of slime at Kardain.
Oof.
Ooh, is this magical in nature?
No.
Dang it.
It's just a slime wad. Just your average everyday slime wad.
And it's not coming from the frog?
No, it's coming from overhead somewhat.
Gross.
It's not a frog wad, it's a slime wad.
Is it a toad wad or a frog wad? Toad.
That's true, it'd be a toad wad.
Fortunately for you, it misses. So this slime just comes flying out from somewhere up on the ceiling and splashes next to you on the ground. And looking up at where it came from, you see a significantly larger, also toad-like creature hanging from the ceiling.
Oh.
Ooh, yikes.
This one is on all fours, and it has large tusks in front, as well as its back being covered in these big, like, pustules. Lumpy growths all over it.
Lumpy?
I think it just tried to sneeze on you.
It tries once again. You see one of those lumps on its back bursts as it flexes a muscle in a particular spot.
Ooh. Gross, dude.
And it shoots slime at you again, but that also misses.
Oh, gross.
That's sick.
Gross, indeed.
They can sneeze out of their backs. What a peculiar creature.
Now it is Kardain's turn.
So you said he's on the ceiling, so they're not actually close to one another, even though on the game board it looks like they are.
Yes, there's one on the ceiling and the other one's on the ground. And ceiling is close to 10 feet tall in this alcove, taller than it is out in your tunnel.
I see. I still think I'm within range for such a thing, so I'm going to aim one of my hands at him and begin to chant. Did I target this correctly, Thane, before I move forward?
If the ceiling's 10 feet tall and this is a 5-foot burst, then you could burst in the middle of the room and it'll go 5 feet up to the ceiling and down to the floor.
And hit them both.
And hit them both. Just barely.
Take that, electric arc. I'm going to cast something different. I'd like to fling something globby at him. A glob of acid immediately detonates on top of the frog monsters.
That's a success for both.
Wow, you rolled really well. Since this is a basic save, don't they still take damage?
Yes, save for half damage.
Hey, a hit is a hit, guys, okay? We gotta take these froggies down.
We do.
So true.
So you spray a little bit of acid on both of them. I guess they were just right at the edge of the range there, so they both only get a little bit of the spray in there. Still mostly all right.
Be careful getting close, lads, and I'm gonna raise my steel shield.
Zara.
Which one is the bigger one?
The one on the ceiling. So the small toad is maybe like 3.5 feet tall, and the big one is like 5 feet across.
Okay, wow. All right, so the first thing I want to do is send Mr. Crowley in. So normally you can spend an action to command your familiar, but one of the abilities I gave him today was independent, which means he can take one action by himself for free. So I'm going to have him fly 25 feet.
Mr. Crowley.
So he flies up right next to one of the toads, and then I am going to cast a spell, my hex cantrip, which is called Shroud of Night.
Ooh, the deepest dawn follows.
Oh, the darkest night, that's right. So it's range 30 feet, so I'll target that closest toad.
The big one.
Your patron blankets the target's eyes in darkness. And so he makes a will save.
And fails.
All right.
Nice.
Sweet. So on a failure, the target is shrouded in murky darkness. It treats bright light as dim light, and unless it has greater dark vision, all creatures are concealed to it. And because I've moved Mr. Crowley up next to him, it triggers his familiar ability, Familiar Stalking Night. Your familiar is dark of feather, and light seems to disappear into it. When you cast or sustain a hex, and your familiar is adjacent to an enemy to which it's concealed, the enemy becomes frightened 1, so it automatically becomes frightened 1.
Very nice.
So now it has, we're all concealed to it, which means it has a higher chance of missing us when it attacks, and he has frightened 1.
Wow. Are we concealed to it even if we go right up next to it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
All creatures are
It's
concealed.
just all creatures are concealed to it.
Awesome.
Which basically means a 25% chance it'll miss.
20%, yeah.
Or 20%, yeah. Which is pretty good.
It's not bad. I'm going to lean over to Verrol and say, I'm going to go ahead and assume that you're going to need a little bit of help. And I put my hand on your rapier, and I'm going to cast Runic Weapon.
I pull my hand away. Unhand my blade, my lady. This is my personal weapon.
Yeah, I fight my own battles.
It's too late. I've already cast it.
Is like Verrol just like such a soloist that he will refuse the assistance?
I'm trained in the art of chivalry, and I've always been told to step forward and take the brunt for a lady.
Yeah.
And she is a lady of noble birth, so I'm especially inclined to do so.
Well, your weapon glimmers with magic as temporary runes carve down its length.
Oh my.
It becomes a +1 striking weapon. So you have a +1 to attack rolls, and it increases the number of weapon damage dice to 2.
My goodness.
Yeah, it doubles your damage die.
Oh, this is a pleasant surprise.
And those are my 3 actions.
Now, the lower toad with 2 tongues.
Low toad.
I am low toad.
And I am high toad.
Careful, next is going to be a hypnotoad.
You take the high toad, and I take the low toad.
Episode title. Boom.
Oh, perfect, yes. Bam.
They'll have no idea what that means.
Boom. Job done.
It's just that easy.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just meant to be.
So it charges forward, it has bounding leaps on its hind legs, and it approaches Kardain, who's in front. So first it's going to try to bite you.
Oh.
It misses, and then, missing with that attempt, it instead tries to lick you with one of its tongues, and that also misses.
Ugh.
Ugh.
The fact that you had to say one of its tongues just tells you how creepy these things are.
All right, Verrol.
I will stride forward and attempt to engage the toad. I think so. If I take the tumble through action as my first movement, then I have to go through its space in order for that to be valid, right?
Yes, and it doesn't count as using it if you don't actually succeed at the check.
Right.
You don't have to set up for flanking this turn, Jay. You could like maybe move up to it and...
No, I was going to set up for a panache.
You could gain panache with one of your different methods instead of the tumble through.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, honestly, if you come next to me, that maybe makes my next turn spicy.
Mm-hmm. Do you want me to be next to you as opposed to diagonally to you?
Maybe to my left.
There's a wall there.
Oh, he can't be there. There's too much wall.
Yeah, too much wall, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll step past you and come up to engage the low toad. My second action will be the feint action. Like, I'll fall on the ground and pass out because this toad is so ugly.
It'll distract him.
No, feint. F-E-I-N-T. I'll do like a little shimmy, drop of the shoulder, make him think I'm going one way, stab the other way, and make a deception check against his perception DC. My result is a 16.
That succeeds.
All right. So on a success, my foe is fooled, but only momentarily. He's off guard against the next melee attack I attempt against him before the end of my current turn, and I will do just that.
Right, off guard is the new flat-footed, right?
On guard. Off guard.
And I shall strike with my rapier with a 12 to hit. Not very good.
12 does not...
The off guard should help that value.
No, the off guard is not enough. You feint, but it doesn't seem to throw the toad off enough, and so you stab and miss.
Okay.
Next, the high-tusked toad seeing that there's now a raven right in front of him, he is going to attempt to strike Mr. Crowley with his tusks.
Oh no, he can see again?
Yeah, he can see the spell. Just it just makes things like sort of dark and murky in front of him. It's just concealment, which is a 20% mischance.
Oh, okay.
It's a great debuff, but only 20%. You can't improve it beyond 20%. But it's still a great debuff to put on big nasties.
Plus frightened at the same time. So -1 to all of his checks and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's great. And hey, it'll be unfortunate if Mr. Crowley goes down, but a familiar being targeted versus a player is usually a good thing.
Yep, it's true.
I get a critical hit on Mr. Crowley.
Oh, no.
No! Mr. Crowley, no!
And so the toad just snaps his jaws over him and swallows him up.
Oh, my goodness.
What does the familiar going down mean for the new witch? The remastered witch?
Still the same. I can still recall him during my daily preparations, so I can get him back tomorrow, but basically in the meantime I get to keep my spells and I just don't get to use any of my familiar stuff.
I see. Oh, man.
Okay, so it's not like you, I can't like spellcast. It's like...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's not terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's not dead yet. He's still unconscious and dying. But it was 16 points of damage. Oh, wait. Actually,
Oof.
the massive damage immediately kills him. That's right. It was over double his hit points. So yes, it is instant death.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Don't pull any punches here, Thane. I'm excited about our first party death in the first...
Yeah, in the very first combat encounter.
Well, fortunately, familiars are like mostly spiritual beings instead of physical, so he can come back as the same thing tomorrow.
Yeah, your familiar can be like Kenny from South Park. He can just die every single episode.
I was going to say, I've been planning for Mr. Crowley to die a lot in this campaign, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the full thing, though, man. He did the full debuff and conceal combo.
He got the combo off. This is like... I've been waiting for months to do this. So he was short-lived, but at least he served his purpose.
Yeah, he protected his master.
He was short-lived, but I'll also be short-died.
So now the toad doesn't know what to do with the rest of his turn.
Well, he's down in action, so Mr. Crowley has served us well.
He's going to go ahead and try one more slime squirt, this time at Verrol.
I believe I will nimble dodge in response.
What does that mean exactly?
It's a reaction, and the trigger is a creature targets you with an attack, and you can see the attacker.
Wait, you get nimble dodge?
Yeah, I'm a swash.
It is a level 1 feat.
Yes, indeed.
That's fantastic.
Whoa. So a creature targets you with an attack, and you can see the attacker, and I'm not encumbered. You definitely dodge out of the way, gaining a +2 circumstance bonus to AC against the triggering attack.
Wow, and that's just your reaction? You can do that as many times as you have reactions?
That's why I get 1 per round. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's a really good swash or rogue dip feat to take. Like if you weren't planning to have like some shield stuff.
All right, so you nimbly dodge out of the way, and the slime splatters on the ground. A few droplets of it hit your boot, annoyingly.
Well, I'm going to get rid of these boots anyway.
Verrol, I see that you're no stranger to fights like this.
What makes you think that? I've only attacked once and I missed.
Yeah, but you, like, I could barely see how fast you move, friend. Where'd you learn to move like that?
Well, to be frank, to be myself, really, I've had quite a bit of training, but can't say I've had too many scuffles like this so far in my life. Very much looking forward to dispatching with these foul creatures, though, if I'm honest. Which I am.
So, after it spits its slime at you, it decides to back off into the far end of the cavern and continue munching on Mr. Crowley.
Mr. Crowley's no. I hope you taste good, at least.
So you buy us more time.
No, Mr. Crowley. Oh, you were such a sweet little bird.
Oh, does Zara not know that the familiar just comes back from your patron?
No, I think she knows. I think she might realize that.
I'm pretty sure her older sister has killed Mr. Crowley at least a few times as a prank over the years.
No, actually, I guess she wouldn't know because this has never happened before. Oh, Mr. Crowley, what? I'm so confused. I didn't know this was going to happen so soon.
We made all these plans together.
Yeah, we were going to run away to the wilds together.
So this is a rules question. The big toad is still climbing and, like, on the ceiling. What does that do to a melee character like, let's say, Verrol?
With its size and how low the ceiling is, you can still reach it in melee, so it's not really an issue.
Nice. Okay.
Does it count as occupying that space on the ground?
No, you could stand under it.
So I'm a little concerned. Like, this is top of turn 2? And we're not dealing significant damage, and essentially a party member is down. Kardain also reaches over to Verrol, and a bit of lightning courses through my gloves, and I grasp is it a rapier?
Yes.
I grasp your really cool runed rapier.
Why does everyone keep touching me?
Verrol, calm down. We're here to help, okay? Just listen to me. This might tingle a little bit, but I think it'll do you some good. And I charge his weapon with lightning by casting Conductive Weapon.
Nice.
Wow.
And that should stack with aspects of Brian's runic weapon, I believe. I hope, because I just spent my spell.
Yes, so what that does, the +1s don't stack, so it's still a +1 to hit, but you get an additional 1d12 of electricity.
Holy schmoly.
Wow.
I thought the D12 was if they're metal.
Your target is wearing...
If any target of an attack is wearing metal armor.
Well, it'll tell us. You get extra shock damage with your weapon in addition to the extra damage die from that.
It gives Jay a juicy crit benefit to look forward to. Like, you don't get those normally until you level up as a swashbuckler, but I've essentially painted you... Well, Brian painted you with power, and I've given you something to look forward to should you crit.
My.
You get to arc lightning.
Well, this was a magnificent weapon before, but now it's simply astounding.
Yeah, it's like runed and crackling with electricity.
Yeah, so it's 3d6 damage per hit.
Oh my goodness.
Which means you want to maximize your number of attacks, probably.
Definitely do.
And, Verrol, I'm not done with you yet.
The gifts just keep on coming.
I will ask for the guidance. It's interesting. It says guidance of supernatural entities, but, like, I'm a druid, so I feel like I would be calling on the guidance of natural entities.
Yeah, that works.
So I'm gonna call on whichever of my people I need to call on to give you guidance. And I hope that you will use it wisely.
If our listeners could only see my character token in Foundry, I have like a swirl of blue going around me, and then I have like a fiery aura in addition to that, and then my torch is burning and lighting up my face, and then there's like 6 icons.
6 different icons on you.
Around me.
Yeah, you're like charging up. Like, Verrol has probably never felt this powerful. How do you feel?
I feel powerful in ways other than politically, which is a first.
Do you feel like a Super Saiyan?
Almost, yes.
Sweet.
That was all my actions.
Zara.
So first thing I need to do is sustain my Shroud of Night. So it's a sustained spell, so I have to spend 1 action to keep it up. So the Toads still has the concealment effect. Mm-hmm. I think the fear went away, the frightened went away at the end of its turn. But yeah, so the concealment stays, and then the other 2 actions, I think I am going to cast Needle Darts.
Oh.
So you see also, by the way, when she's casting this spell, you see like her eyes start to glow a little bit, and her hair kind of like lifts up from the magic energy surrounding her. So you make 3 needles out of a piece of metal in your possession, and she just like takes one of the rings off of her finger, and it just turns into 3 darts and flies toward the target. So make a spell attack roll.
Ah, that's why you were so bejeweled.
Yeah, one of the reasons.
Blinged out to poke things.
Womp womp, I got a 10.
Yeah, it's a miss.
Okay, so yeah, one action to sustain, 2 to cast Needle Darts, and that will end my turn.
Now the 2-tongued toad turns towards Verrol, who's just glowing with energy and looks very appetizing at the moment. And he decides to try to bite.
You don't have a fresh reaction, right? It hasn't been a full turn cycle, right, Jay?
Yeah, nimble dodge should still be active. Oh, no. That's just against the attack. It's just against the one attack. So it's not like my AC just goes up by 2. It's just against that.
Yeah. It's good, but it's no raised shield, but it also doesn't cost you an action. It's just a reaction. It's really good, but it's
really good, yeah.
There's nothing like a shield raised if you can afford the action.
Well, all of my attack rolls are being about as bad as your guys', so I missed 3 times as it tries to bite you.
Wow.
Oh,
awesome.
It's good.
I wish that made me feel better, Thane, but like there's 2 toad monsters and they're both barely hurt.
Well, none of you were hurt at all.
Mr. Crowley would like to disagree.
His feathers are just falling to the ground.
I felt really good at the beginning of this adventure because we had 6 of us, if we count the familiars. We're down to 3.
Yep, because 2 stayed behind and 1 died. Yeah.
2 stayed behind. Our numbers are dwindling.
Verrol.
For my first action, I'll just make a melee attack with my rapier against the low toad.
Are you able to get, is there stuff you could do to make your attack more accurate?
I could do a finisher and then tumble through to regain panache and then attack again.
That could be spicy.
I like that plan.
Yeah, that seems really juicy. I hadn't thought about that.
All right. So I'll use my confident finisher.
How does that work?
That's especially good because it does damage on a miss.
So my confident finisher uses my panache.
As a finisher, you can't attack after using a finisher, right?
I think it has the flourish thing to it.
Once you use a finisher, you can't use actions that have the attack trait for the rest of your turn.
Oh, I thought that you couldn't use actions that have the finisher trait. Okay, so I can't finish first. I have to finish last, which is typically the case.
Is it a 1 or 2 action finisher?
It's 1.
So theoretically, if you're only going to get 1 strike this turn, you could position yourself either by moving or tumbling through. Yeah, do something to get off guard somehow. Your class is really good at that. Hit him with the finisher, and then you could do some sort of a maneuver.
Right. So I could feint first to try to throw him off, then finisher, then tumble through to...
But the feinting is what gives you the panache, so it's generally better to do that after you've used the finisher.
Yeah, exactly.
Try to loop it well.
Okay, so he should finish and then try to get panache again?
Yeah, but since you have panache now, probably my recommendation for a situation like this would be 1 normal attack, 1 finisher, and then...
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. So I normal attack first, then finisher, then tumble through.
So it means your finisher is a little less likely to hit because of the multiple attack penalty, but with confident finisher, it also deals damage on a miss, so it's less of a deal.
Right.
Which is great when he has all this extra dice.
All right, so I'll make a normal attack first. That's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Hey, all right.
And this is going to deal a boatload of damage.
That feels like the first significant hit of the game, right? Because I had a half...
Well, it's 2d6 plus 2 plus an extra d6 for the lightning damage. So it's 14 damage on that attack.
That kills the toad with a single strike.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Wow.
Okay, so change of plans then.
You just annihilate the toad with your super lightning magic sword.
It collapses to the ground, oozing some weird oils and slimes all over the ground, trembling slightly with the after effects of the shock.
My goodness. Well,
what a hit.
Whilst in a state of panache, I get an extra +5 to my movement speed. So I happen to be, because I'm in a state of panache, I happen to be within range of the high toad. So I will now approach the high toad.
Now you'll take the high toad.
I'll take the high toad. I took the low toad, now I'm going to take the high toad. And I'm going to finisher the high toad.
Do it for Mr. Crowley.
Yeah. Mr. Crowley!
For Mr. Crowley, yeah!
Alright, so I will use my confident finisher ability, and that is a 19 to hit.
Sheesh, even with the -5 multiple attack penalty. Wow.
19 hits.
Alright.
Nice.
And that's going to be 5d6.
5d6? Wow.
That's still a lot of dice.
Another 14 on 5d6.
All right, that's a strong hit, but this toad is significantly bulkier than the last one.
Well,
Yeah.
It is still alive. It momentarily stops munching on Mr. Crowley and looks over at you.
well,
Haha.
Hello there.
good thing, unlike one-time use spells, Brian and my spell is still making Jay awesome. For turn after time, turn after turn.
True story.
Did it prompt you to use the guidance die? You didn't have to. When does he have to decide, by the way, Thane? Guidance.
Yeah, I don't know.
If the game didn't prompt you to do it, Jay, you'll have to manually think about when to use such a thing from me or Brian. Brian, you also know guidance, right?
It's before you roll. You use guidance.
Okay.
You just need to say that you want to take a +1 to your roll.
Yeah, I would just say use it in the future because you'll lose it. It's 10. I think it lasts.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know what the actual effect of the guidance was.
Yeah, I can put it in chat. So it is this.
I would probably just add it to that attack.
Oh, you know what? It's gone now.
Oh, guidance is gone?
It's going to be gone at the start of my next turn. That's okay. We know now.
Now that I know how it works, I would have just used it on this attack.
It's fine. I don't think it made a difference. I don't think it would have turned it into a crit.
No.
Oh, it's to an attack roll. Okay, not a damage.
Attack roll, perception check, saving throw, or skill check. It does everything. Now, what's nice... he's immune now, isn't he?
Yeah, for the next hour.
No.
Yep. You can't have it again.
And that's the end of your turn?
Yep.
Alright, so he's going to try to do a squirt with the slime on his back.
Can I dodge?
You can.
I will.
It misses. And then he's going to try to go in for bite with his tusks. And he actually hits for once. You take 5 points of damage.
Youch.
Hey, Verrol, how's it going back there?
Everything's okay, but I could use another hand if you happen to have one free.
And then he tries to back away into a different corner after that. And it's Kardain's turn.
Brian, one of your go-to cantrips is the needle darts, right? Because of the potential for...
It is, yeah.
Okay, so if that's a go-to move for you, I will turn back to you, Zara, and I will encourage you with the spirits of nature, and I will cast guidance upon you.
Ooh, thank you. I feel encouraged.
And then, I'm a little far away from you, Verrol, but we're right here.
The solution for that would be to come closer.
I don't want to waste my turn striding, so I will cast a different cantrip on you. You're within range. It has a whopping 60-foot range. And Kardain begins to kind of like... I don't know if he's like water bending here or anything, but I like have a little bit of water that I'm bouncing between my two hands, and then I chuck it at Verrol and cast Rousing Splash.
Ooh, tell me about Rousing Splash. I don't know this spell.
I splash Verrol in the head with a bit of cold water. Hopefully that wakes you up. And it grants some temporary vigor.
I feel vigorouser already.
1d4 temporary hit points, which lasts for a minute.
Minimum was rolled, although now you are immune to benefiting from this for 10 minutes. But hey, that's not an hour. That's not like guidance. That is 10 minutes.
Does it affect my hair?
I mean, it is a splash. It's a magical splash of cold water to the head, right? Or to the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's also useful for splashing away acid or fire persistent damage.
Wow.
But I'll give you a little bit of temporary HP from a cantrip. All right, that's all my actions.
That is pretty sick.
You're doing great in there. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thanks. This is quite exhilarating. I might try it again sometime. If I survive this, all by my lonesome.
Zara.
All right. I would like to stride forward 25 feet. Okay, now I can see the toad again. And I will indeed cast needle darts again.
With my guidance.
I'll go ahead and use my guidance. So +1 to that. All right, so that is a 14 or a 15 with guidance.
15 is insufficient.
Oh, man.
It does not pierce the toad's thick hide.
Brian, you wouldn't happen to have a save-based cantrip, too, on your character, do you?
Like an attack that makes them save? I do not. I might know one, I just didn't prepare one. And that's my turn.
Yeah, needle darts is great if we're fighting like little mooks and you want to paint them with some persistent poison because their AC is easier to hit. But for like a honker like this that has a higher AC, we might want to diversify.
Yeah, that's true.
Verrol?
I will give chase. Does it have to be in a straight line that I use tumble through?
No.
Okay, so as my stride, action, I'll try to tumble through the high toad's space. Make an acrobatics check. And that's not very good. That's a 9.
That's not enough.
So on a failure, my movement ends. And I trigger reactions as if I had moved out of the square I started in. Any reactions from him?
Nope.
He looks surprised. How dare you try to tumble through me?
I will not be tumbled through under any circumstances. I'm going to just take an attack against him. Or maybe I should try to feint to see if I can gain panache that way.
You could.
It's either feint attack or just 2 attacks.
I feel like
attack.
feint attack is where it's at, right?
Then again, he's also got all those buffs to his attacks, making each one much more potent.
Oh, do I still? Yeah. What do I still have? I've got the runic weapon and the conductive weapon.
Oh, I did forget to sustain last turn, so his debuff is not there anymore.
Oh, the toads?
Was that from your focus point pool?
Yeah, my hex cantrip, Shroud of Night. I forgot to sustain it last turn.
That's all right. You needed to move up.
Yeah.
I think I am going to try to feint first, because that affects all of my subsequent attacks in future turns once I have panache. So I'll make a deception check against his perception DC. That's a 20.
Success.
Nice.
All right, and for my third action, I will strike. Oh, no. No.
The 1.
That's a 9 with a rolled a 1. Natty 1-0.
The 1.
You have critically failed to strike. Fortunately, critical failures don't do anything particularly negative for normal attacks.
Okay.
So the toad hunkers up in a little crevice in the ceiling and then squirts out this slime from underneath it that falls down to the floor and coats the ground all around.
Oof.
Gross.
So you are now standing in a puddle of slippery grease
Gross.
that is turning it into slippery ground and difficult terrain. And unfortunately, that's all I can do if I do that. So, Kardain.
If he's on the ceiling, could I try to center the blast higher than I did before and maybe not hit my ally?
Considering that it's in the corner and Verrol is right next to him, I don't think there's enough space to hit the toad and not Verrol anymore.
It'll only be 1 splash damage, right?
Oh no, he would take full.
Okay.
They made acid splash a lot better, and when they renamed it into caustic, mechanically, it would be an ouchie for Verrol.
Oof. Yikes.
Do you have any weapons?
Yeah, I'm just not very good with them. I guess I could just stride up. What is my movement? It's worse than 25, isn't it, Thane, because of the chainmail?
It's 20 feet as a dwarf.
It's a 20. Yeah, I have a 20-foot move. Was his Splime attack an AoE? I can't remember.
No, and it was shooting the pus at you.
Yeah, gross. Okay. I mean, I can move again and then slip and slide in the slime, but me being close up to him doesn't really... Well, I'm going to slip and slide in the slime. I'm going to stride again.
Make an acrobatics check to balance.
I might get stopped by this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I fall. I only got an 11 in the slime. Slime time.
And that is not enough, so you run forward towards the toad, and you take 1 step into the slime and fall on your back.
Oh, no. All right, from prone, if I raise a shield, that's still technically better, isn't it? Or is it, I might as well just stand up?
Prone makes you off guard. Shield would basically be the same bonus, so either way, it's not going to make a difference to your armor class.
Kardain feels more heroic to raise a shield than to try to stand up in the... isn't me standing up in this line not guaranteed, by the way?
That's true.
Yeah, I feel like I should just raise a shield because there's no guarantee I'm getting back up since it's slippery.
That's true. So you are lying on the ground, cowering behind your shield. Bravely cowering under your shield.
Yes.
Don't worry, lads and lass.
Zara?
I'm fine.
First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cast Shroud of Night again.
That's
Yeah, wasn't that a focus?
It is a hex, but it's a hex cantrip.
I think hex cantrips similar to psychic still use your focus pool.
It doesn't actually, yeah, it's a cantrip, so it doesn't spend a focus point to do it.
Ah. What do witches spend their focus points on?
Basically, the one I have right now, I spend a focus point, and I get to command my familiar as a free action instead of spending an action to do it.
But it doesn't help you now.
Yes. Well, yeah, thanks a lot, Thane. I realized that.
So you having that focus spell means you can move Mr. Crowley more in a turn other than independent?
No, it doesn't stack.
Yeah, independent is if I don't command him, he gets 1 action for free. Whereas either commanding him normally or using patron's puppet counts as commanding him.
Okay, so it's a matter of 2 actions, or you always get 1 for free.
Right.
I understand. Okay.
So Shroud of Night cantrip, target the toad, and he makes a will save.
And he fails.
All right.
Yeah.
So everyone is concealed to him now. As long as I remember to sustain it, hopefully that'll come into play soon, and he misses some attacks against you guys.
You could shoost him dead.
I could shoost him. I will try that with some needle darts.
1-action cantrips are great.
Yeah, seriously, it's awesome. Needle darts is 2 actions, so I will do that. That's a 16.
16 is not quite enough.
Oh man.
No.
So sad.
This toad. This one. I mean, it has like infinite pus pimples.
This toad, brother.
I'm on the ground in a pile of slime. Mm-hmm. This is great.
This battle has had a lot of misses.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can turn that around. Verrol.
All right. Let's see if we can not miss. Now, I'm in a state of panache.
Can you flat foot or off guard this guy?
I can try, yeah.
Wait. Don't you have the cape?
Yeah, but I have a torch in my hand.
Oh. Those don't mix well, do they?
Yeah, I do not want to light my cape on fire now.
And if you douse the torch for the cape,
he won't be able to see.
You can't see. We don't have any other light sources. Okay.
Could he drop it on the ground though, and it would still burn?
It would. Yes.
And you can drop items as a free action.
But if I drop it on the ground, it will be in a pile of slime, and I would rather not pick it up again. The slime might even put it out.
We'll find you another way to a light source. I think I might even have a torch in my loadout. I say drop it. That's a free action. And see if it stays lit.
See if it stays lit, but then what if it doesn't? And I can't see my target.
Well, then we'll discover that together.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm just gonna...
Couldn't he drop it behind him? Like, he's got 5 feet of range.
I'm just gonna focus my actions on dealing damage. So what does off guard do?
They have a -2 to the AC circumstance.
To AC.
Makes him easier to hit by 2 points.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
So he's only off guard to me until the end of my next turn if I get a critical success. Okay. Yeah, I suppose. I will faint.
But not into the slime.
Oh, that's a good roll. 26. Ooh.
That is a critical success.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So you have completely thrown him off.
So I've thrown him off, and he's off guard against melee attacks that I attempt against it until the end of my next turn.
Next turn.
So weak.
It's got a little bit of staying power, the critical one.
Let's get this party started. That's a 14 to hit.
Is that with the bonus, though? It doesn't look like it.
That's on their armor class, not on your attack roll. So 14 is not quite enough still. Even with the off guard.
Shucks. Should I do a finisher then? Or just a regular attack?
Well, the finisher always hits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or it always deals damage, is what you said, Thane. That seems juicy.
Well, it deals damage on a miss, not on a critical miss.
Well, but as long as he doesn't critical miss, right? That seems good.
True.
Seems like you're using the whole can of the swash.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna, because this critical success on the feint lasts until the end of my next turn, I think I'm gonna wait and use the finisher on my next turn.
You could try to help Kardain up. I am in a pile of ooze.
Oh, can I?
Let's throw this toad in the swash can,
Couldn't he try to aid me? Because I'm not so good at getting up out of the slime.
Yeah, if you want to spend an action to prepare to aid, and then use your reaction to aid him to stand up, then you would potentially give him a bonus.
You would lose your reaction, but I probably need to get up.
I only have 1 action left, though, right?
Well, you were making it sound like you didn't want to use your finisher, so I was just merely suggesting...
Yeah, I was going to use a normal attack instead of finisher to maximize the feint that I just did, because I critically succeeded.
Sure, it's going to be at a -5, but you can do what you want.
Right. What does it give you if I take the aid action instead to help you stand up?
I'm quite a bit better at standing up from the slime. Isn't it like a +4?
Okay, so we are going to use a variant rule for the aid action. Because the default rule is that aid gives a +1 on a success and 0 on a failure, and then that just scales up basically as you gain levels. So our variant rule is critical success is +4, which is the normal maximum. Normal success is +2. Failure is +1. Critical failure is -1. And then the DCs are a little bit higher than they would normally be in order to kind of counteract that. So should be roughly balanced, but there's a greater range of possible results now.
What kind of a check is it?
To aid, it depends on the action you're trying to do. Probably it would be an acrobatics check to stay stable for him.
But Jay's good at that, I bet. He's a swash.
Yeah, I'm very good at that.
The question is that part of Verrol's character? If he saw his allies slip and fall in the slime, would you...
If I knew that it was going to be that difficult for you to just stand up again, then I would, but I don't know that I actually know that. Like, do you even know that it's going to be that hard for you to stand up?
I mean, I feel like Kardain could simply say, "Hey, Verrol, you got a free hand?"
I do not. I have both of my hands occupied. So then I'd have to drop my torch, which would possibly put it out.
So good luck getting up.
Well, could he drop the torch outside of the slime pool? Because he's on the edge of the slime.
I think if it's not in your space, then it would count as placing it there, which would be an action.
But that would still free up your hand to get your cape out. I don't know.
To be in the dark and not be able to see. Yeah, I don't think under this circumstance. I mean, I've just fainted for the sake of throwing him off guard. I think I would maximize my attacking potential. And also not really realize that it would be that difficult for you to stand up.
Yeah, just letting multiple attack penalty have its say.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway.
Natural 1.
I was almost a 19.
Womp womp.
And I guess with even if you'd done the confident finisher, that still wouldn't have helped.
Right.
Yep. Wouldn't have.
Because it doesn't actually do damage.
And if I had tried to help you up, I would have given you a -1.
Well, but you said it yourself. You can't because you don't have a free hand. I don't see how you would help.
Right.
Probably would have accidentally dropped the torch on top of you and then given you your penalty that way.
Yeah. Right.
Rough all around. Yeah, you didn't have a great option for your third. Do you have Intimidate?
Yes.
Everyone has Intimidate.
I'm good at it.
But do you speak Frog?
I don't speak Frog now.
So I am going to try to squirt stuff on Verrol.
Yummy.
It misses. And then I'll just try to bite you. I am rolling very poorly with almost all of my actions this whole battle. So those all missed.
Man.
Phew.
Kardain?
I mean, I guess I try to get up.
Well, on the plus side, you're lying on the ground and he's on the ceiling. So from that distance, he probably can't do a melee attack against you.
You're saying I should stay on the ground?
If you're not going to do a melee attack, if you're just going to cast a spell or something.
That's fair. But I'm not wrong, like, in thinking that it's gonna hurt my...
It makes it so you're easier to target with his ranged attack, yes. But he won't be able to do a melee.
Yes, and I also can't do the other cantrip I was considering because it's a 5-foot range, and if I'm on the ground and he's on the ceiling... These old dwarf bones are gonna try to get up.
You're not that old.
I'm not that old, that's true. All right. I'm just gonna try to get myself up.
Kardain, who are you talking to?
I'm trying to talk myself up, Zara.
Well, acrobatics?
Yep. Here we go. That's only an 8.
An 8 is not enough, so you are slipping and sliding all around, rolling over, trying to right yourself in this slime.
Just slipping around in some pus.
Well, this one's more of just general ooze.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case, it's all right.
I'm gonna try to get up again.
Can you guidance yourself?
I could, but it's only a +1. I think I'd rather maybe fail this get up again, but be able to raise a shield, I think.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's better, because it's not like you get a multiple attack penalty on trying to stand up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The frustration's coming over Kardain. He's like, I just want to stand. That's the sound of me falling back into the slime.
Oh my gosh.
What did you get?
I got a 5.
A 4?
Yeah, I rolled a 4. It's 5 total. I'm going to continue to cower behind my steel shield.
Goodness.
I mean, heroically protect myself.
Zara?
I am going to sustain the Shroud of Night and going to cast Needle Darts again. So here we go.
Verrol, maybe you could help me up.
Maybe.
That's a 12.
It's a miss.
Yeah. Those are my 3 actions. My turn's done.
Hey, you're doing great sustaining that debuff, okay?
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Kardain.
Well, no, it's very important.
Verrol?
Okay, I'll start with a regular attack. And that's a 14 to hit. I think I missed with a 14 last time.
So yes, that is still a miss.
Oh, boy.
Oh, brutal.
Wonderful.
But if you finish her, you will deal damage unless you critically fail.
Right.
So that seems great.
How much actual damage does a failed finisher deal? You deal half your precise strike damage to the target. So that's like, I have all these buffs on my weapon, but it's just half my precise strike if I miss. So it's not much at all. So I think a regular attack is better, actually, in this case. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Another one?
The exact same rolls as you had last.
Another one.
How?
If you don't want to do any of the like pick up Kardain or move your torch stuff, couldn't you like scare this thing? You're Verrol.
He's Verrol, he's not feral.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you could try that out as another third action.
Could attempt the old demoralize.
It doesn't have fear on it at the moment.
Or he could use a finisher now, since it's the end of his off guard from you.
But isn't that going to have a even higher multiple attack penalty?
Yeah.
Can I intimidate it even if it can't understand me?
You take a
Yes.
-4, I believe.
Yeah,
4.
there's
Yeah,
a skill feat
penalty.
that gets rid of that.
Well, now that I've seen you struggle to get up and be slipping around, now I understand that you can't get up on your own. But I still don't have a free hand, and if I drop my torch and it goes out, then I can't see and I can't fight. So that's the dilemma.
So why don't your third action, why don't you place it next to you? Thane said you could spend an action to put it into an adjacent square, and then it wouldn't go out in the slime.
Yeah.
But we also don't know for sure if it would go out in the slime.
But we don't know that it wouldn't, and that's enough for me to not want to do it.
I realized that standing on the slippery slime is also making you off guard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just standing on it, so I don't need to get up.
Prone gives you bigger penalties.
Okay. Well, I think I've demonstrated that I can't get up. Help, help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
Okay, yeah, so as my third action for this turn, I will place the torch on the ground outside of the slime.
Actually, it's the same. It's just a -2, because prone gives you off guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so whether I'm on the ground or whether I'm standing...
Oh, okay. So you don't need to get up?
I don't know if I need to...
Do you want a hand up or not?
Oh, hold on, Verrol. So, Thane, we just learned that whether I'm on the ground or standing, this slime gives a -2.
Yes, but, I mean, if you're trying to make melee attacks, then you need to be standing.
I'm not that great at them.
Yeah. All right. I'll go ahead and put the torch down. I'll use an action to put it outside the slime area anyway, because if I don't help you up, then I'll wrap my cape and get the armor class bonus, since now I'm off guard.
That's a good call.
I was definitely not expecting this toad to survive this long,
Yeah, well,
but everyone is rolling so badly.
everyone's rolling terribly.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, the toad's rolling poorly, we're rolling poorly, and it's not like we haven't tried, right? Like, we buffed Verrol's weapon a lot.
Yeah, if I could just hit with it, then it would be awesome.
We're working on that. So this is like a pretty substantial enemy. We need to stack a lot of debuffs on him.
He's just going straight for the bite this time, targeting Verrol. Natural 1.
Wow.
Continuing the tradition.
Wow.
We are starting this new campaign off with a bang of a combat. My goodness.
It's a banger, that's for sure.
Yeah.
More like a clanger.
However, this time it was followed immediately by a natural 20.
Well,
yikes.
there you go.
Can he do his reaction?
Well, first it's the concealment.
Oh, that's right. Concealment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what if that saves you?
It does not. He still hits.
Blast.
If he targets me with an attack and I can see the attacker, I would have used Nimble Dodge on the first attack if I was going to use it.
So the second one hits you critically for 20 points of damage.
Wow, wonderful. So I am down.
Oh.
Okay.
And you're dying too because that was a critical hit that brought you down.
Yep. Yeah, it accelerates him
man.
to dying too.
Nice. All right, well.
Got that backup character rolled up yet, Jay?
Oh, I sure do.
I mean, if he goes down, Zara's going to have to answer for the death of the last heir of the Van Jack family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be plenty awkward if we just have a death right here, right now.
Yeah. Very first
With him
combat.
going to dying too, what's the penalty if we were to get him up theoretically?
If he comes up, he'll be wounded 1, and then he'll start at higher dying level next time. If he stays down, then he's just going to keep on potentially bleeding out or possibly stabilizing.
Okay.
So that was my second action. The third one, I'm going to try to squirt slime at Kardain. And it just hits.
Is this a type of attack that I could react to with the shield block?
It's not dealing damage, so no.
It's not dealing damage, so I cannot. Yeah, you would take physical damage, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, this slime is different from the one that you've been slipping on. So you're sliding all over the ground, and then it shoots this wad of sticky gunk at you that clings to you and makes it harder for you to move around. So you are now clumsy 1.
Oof.
-1 to all your dexterity stuff.
I already felt plenty clumsy.
And you have -5 foot penalty to speed, should you ever manage to move again.
I think I'm just one with the slime now, y'all.
It's possible to scrape it off, but it'll take you a while to do it.
I was not planning originally on going into the slime, but I thought it'd be fun for the encounter, and I felt maybe a little overconfident because we had like a super buffed Verrol that I could just go in there for fun and maybe like use some of my other spells. Little did I know it would be this tomb of eternity. I am covered in slime, and my character token is covered in debuffs. My fresh ally is dying next to me. We need to do something.
Turned out to be less fun than you anticipated.
Well, if the dice were doing anything besides low rolls for everyone.
Yeah. And then a crit out of the enemy, right? Okay, so I'm going to pull my non-shield hand out of the slime, and I'm going to begin to read the text. And I will cast from my scroll heal.
Ooh.
And I'm not just gonna give you a regular 1-action heal. This is the 2-action heal. So even if you were away from me, I would still be able to target you, my friend. Here we go. Boom!
Wow.
14 healing. Okay, at least
14 hit points.
At least the heals are good. Okay.
Wow.
Verrol, can you hear me?
Where am I? Why is it so wet? Oh goodness.
I'm afraid you urinated on yourself while you were unconscious.
Is that what I'm smelling? Verrol, the giant toad beast chomped you. We need you to get up and fight.
Oh.
We need your weapon. But also you, but mainly your weapon.
Oh, wait, yes. My weapon is the most valuable asset we have in this fight.
Kardain, I might suggest trying to crawl out of the slime.
That's not a bad idea.
Crawling says you're prone and your speed is at least 10 feet, and it is still 10 feet. So you can crawl away 5 feet and be able to stand up next turn.
Nice.
Well, then.
I mean, I guess that'd be useful, but at the same time, I kind of like that the toad's sometimes targeting me instead of Verrol.
How much do you like that? Enough to stay?
I like it enough to maybe stay. Maybe you guys can help me think of something. Is there something unconventional that Kardain could do to distract or otherwise help Verrol hit? I mean, couldn't I just, not intimidation, but couldn't I just, hey, look at me, you big lug?
Oh, isn't there a cause of distraction action?
Yes.
I'm not very good at it, is the problem.
Well, if that's what you're trying to do, then...
Look, all I really need to do to hit is roll decently. So
yeah, I mean, any half-decent attack roll should do it, but...
Yeah, demoralize.
You're not getting them, though. And he's not targeting me when you were alive, because you're the real threat. You're the thing that's actually hitting him.
Although now he has already hit you with his slime, so there's not much point in continuing to do that for him.
Yeah.
I have a free hand now that I've spent the scroll. Scroll poofed. So if I were to use my last action to ready and assist, could I threaten to chuck my torch at him or something? I mean, my club?
I guess I'll allow that. Sure. Okay,
so I'm going to reach for a slimy rock, and I will get it ready for when you attack him next time, Jay, to try to aid you.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Do you not have, spells and stuff that deal damage?
I do. I need to be closer. I have 2 different types of attack cantrip, but neither of them are good right now.
Right on. Okay.
I'm going to pass the turn.
Zara?
Sustain Shroud of Night for my first action. Needle darts, second 2 actions.
Bring him down. Get that bleed on him.
All right. Oh my gosh, 16. That's the same result I've gotten. I've gotten a 16 like 2 other times that I've attacked.
It's like history is repeating itself over and over. The endless cycles of missing by 1.
But of note, though, this is where, I know you're on cooldown for guidance, but this is where that +1 would theoretically come in, right? Like when we're just barely missing.
That's true.
You've missed by 1 twice, and Verrol missed by 1 twice within the last 2 rounds.
Oh my gosh. Every +1 matters.
Yeah.
That will end my turn.
You're doing something really important, though. Thane is going to miss because of the concealed. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it will. It's true.
And it may have already happened. He may just not have told us.
It's Verrol's turn now. When you fall unconscious, you drop whatever you're holding. So it's an action to pick up your rapier.
Oh, is it?
He's got to pick up the rapier.
So it's one action to pick up my rapier and another to stand up?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Oh, but he's standing up in slime.
It's
Correct.
an acrobatics check against as yet unknown DC.
You're pretty good at acrobatics.
I'm good. I'm very good at acrobatics. So I'll grab my rapier with the first action, make an acrobatics check with the second. That's a 20, non-natty.
All right, you managed to stand up.
Nice.
It's not easy. The ground is giving you trouble.
Yeah.
We're succeeding at something.
You're still panashed, right?
Even though I died?
Yeah, I didn't see anything that said it goes away when you fall unconscious.
Oh, okay. All right, nice.
So if you're just going for one attack, this is where I would help you.
I guess I'll finish her then.
So Thane, we determined I was going to try to throw a slimy rock, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to have you make an attack roll, since that's how you're helping.
You're just causing a distraction?
Yeah, I'm exactly, precisely.
Just make a dex attack.
I'm going to make a dex attack.
Dex that attack up.
I rolled a 5, so that's a 6. But it gave me -2 because I'm prone.
Yeah, I'd say that's enough for distraction here, so I'll take away the prone there. So that's an 8 on your roll.
Hit him, Verrol!
That's a failure to the check, but I'll give you the +1 because that's what the rule does.
Oh, the variant rule?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I made him worse if we're playing the usual rule.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, 8 is really bad early campaign. My goodness, with the normal rolls.
The real rule is that, like, levels 1 through 5 or so, aiding is really bad because it most of the time will do nothing and is about as likely to hurt as help.
Right, and it's your action and your reaction.
Mm-hmm. And then once you hit, like, level 10 or 12 or something, then it basically becomes an automatic success, and by the time you're level 15 or 16, it's like an automatic +4.
Wow.
So it just seems very uneven throughout the course of the game.
You can do entire builds where like somebody is just like focused on aiding other players because it's that good.
All right, so what this boils down to is I get a +1?
Yes.
Okay.
We worked really hard for that +1, Jay. Make it count.
If you roll exactly what you did before.
No, I got a 15. One higher than I've been getting.
Oh, that doesn't hit, does it?
It doesn't hit.
But this was a finisher,
Yeah, it is a finisher.
so it still hurts him.
Still deals damage.
Still do the precise strike.
So that's a D6, right?
6 divided by half. 3 points of
3.
damage.
Okay.
It's something. It's the first hit in a long time.
Spoiler alert, this entire campaign is going to be us fighting one toad.
Yep, pretty much.
Buckle up, people.
This is round 7.
It's not like we're not trying, listeners.
This is painful.
Yeah.
I thought I was missing by 1. I was getting 14s.
You were missing by 1, but now he's not off guard to you anymore. So the fact that you got a +2 means that it was still
Okay.
it exactly counted.
Don't die on us, Verrol.
I'm trying.
If you went down and died, could one of us pick up the super powerful weapon? Try to.
We could, but I wouldn't know how to use it.
It's a martial weapon, isn't it? I don't think I can use it well either.
Yep. So for the toad's first action, it squirts slime, and this time hits Verrol with the slime. So you are now also entangled in it.
Wonderful.
And now he's going to try to bite, and he misses with both of his bites.
All
So
right.
what does being entangled in the slime give me? Clumsy?
Clumsy 1, and -5 foot to speed.
Okay.
You do use dexterity for your attack rolls, so that clumsy affects your attacks. Kardain?
Can I use your rules for crawling in the slime instead of crawling out of the slime? I want to crawl underneath the big scary toad.
Okay.
Do I have to make rolls for it?
No, you can just move there. I'm just wondering why.
I'm going to crawl under the toad, and I hope it doesn't fall on me and crush me. We're in desperation mode.
When we kill it, it might, actually, so...
I'm going under the toad, guys. I'm going under toad.
Caught in the undertoad. Caught in the undertoad.
Beware the undertow.
Verrol, if this thing dies and squishes me, I need you to dig me out, take the insignia, to the Grove Tenders. All right, here we go.
What insignia are you referring to?
You'll figure it out. You're a smart lad.
No, I will not. I'm not digging through slime for something that I don't know what it is or looks like.
Zara, dig.
I'm even less likely to dig through slime for you.
All right, so Kardain, as a free action, can I chuck my insignia out of the slime?
Not as a free action.
You don't care about a dwarf's honor at all? All right, I'm going to puff of poison the... Can I reach it with the puff of poison, though? I'm on the ground.
Yeah, I think you're close enough.
Okay. At my peril, I am under this huge toad, and I will try to puff a poison. It makes a fortitude save. I mean, I hope it doesn't make a fortitude save.
It succeeds. So it takes half initial and persistent damage.
They made puff of poison a lot better, I think, because no matter what, it poisons it. Underratedcantrips.com is kind of what I was going for with this druid. Yeah, that one's from Braun. So that was 7 poison and 2 persistent damage, but both of those are chopped in half. That's persistent damage, my friends. This is what I've been trying to do to the toad this whole time. I've been slipping and sliding and sliming around. Slime time. Dude, maybe that's another good name for this encounter, slime time. Some variation thereof.
Yeah, true. This episode.
Okay, so I crawled. That was an action, right? And then 2 actions to do this. So I'm not aiding you this turn, but I'm in position now to potentially continue to poison this thing and give you aids in the future.
Okay, Zara.
I will sustain Shroud of Night for my first action. The other thing I realized I could do is demoralize. Do you think that's worth me trying to try to give it another debuff?
Are you good at it?
Probably not.
Oh. You might just want to keep flinging your jewelry at it. Are you out of jewelry yet? You've used needle darts a lot.
The metal actually returns to you when you do that, according to the spell description.
Ah, so you're like Magneta.
Yes, Magneta.
It's your new nickname.
I mean, is it just worth me trying?
I feel like it's time for you to hit.
It does seem like it's pretty badly hurt.
I think it's your time, Brian, to get that juicy crit.
All right, here we go, people. Cast needle darts again. Metal flies out from my hand, and...
Oh,
awesome.
it's not you.
Awesome.
about what I expected. That's a 13.
It's not you, man. It's the dice. I mean, Brian's character has a +7 to these attempts. It's not like you can't hit this AC. You totally could.
Statistically speaking, you should have hit 4 or 5 times.
Half the time.
Between
Yep.
our
Yeah.
in these last few rounds.
And that ends my turn.
All right, Verrol.
I'm definitely wrapping my dueling cape
Yes.
around my arm.
Yes.
This turn.
Ooh, how does that
So
work?
is it like Zorro style? Like, what do you do?
Tell us about that.
Yeah, tell us about your cape.
I just lift it up from behind me with my free hand and twirl it around my arm and grip the end. So it becomes sort of like a makeshift shield. But I need to spend another action in order to hold it protectively, and I don't know that I'm going to get to that this turn, but I'll at least have it wrapped for now.
And what does that do mechanically again?
It gives me a bonus to fainting and deception checks to faint and a +1 to AC.
Nice.
So I think I am going to faint even without that bonus. Oh, that's a natty twinzo.
Ooh, and panache.
Natty
20.
twinzo.
Natty Twinzo.
He's off guard to you for the next 2 rounds.
All right.
Make use of it.
We may be missing a lot, but you're making it look good, Jay, with that panache.
That's what I do. And I am in a state of panache. Thank you. That is true. So with my last action, I will strike with my rapier.
You hit!
And I finally hit with an 18.
hit.
Wow.
So I will deal 2d6 plus 1d6 plus 2 damage.
That's a lot of dice.
And that is a good roll. 16 damage.
With one good blow, finally, you stab upward to the ceiling, withdraw your blade, and the toad follows along with it, sliding off and crushing Kardain underneath.
That was so painful, and this is now so painful for Kardain.
I can't believe that combat took 7.5 rounds.
Yeah.
No,
I skewer the toad again with my blade and try to shove it off of Kardain.
Oh, Thane is awarding us some XP in the log.
Experience points.
It calculates it all for me, so might as well.
Nice.
Man, that fight was not supposed to be nearly that long or hard.
Hey,
Yes.
welcome to Pathfinder.
That does not bode well for the future of this podcast. After I shove the toad off of you with my sword, I will clasp hands with you and lift you to your feet.
and then I promptly fall back into the slime.
Fall in the slide.
And you both do.
And as we writhe around in the slime, I say, I must say, Master Dwarf, I underestimated your prowess in battle. I underestimated my own, admittedly, but...
Or did you overestimate your own?
I overestimated myself quite a bit. But nonetheless, it's been a pleasure doing battle with you.
Yes.
And you as well, my lady.
You know, when you fight shoulder to shoulder with a dwarf, it means that we're battle brothers now. There's no turning back from that.
Well, let's not be so hasty. I roll out of the slime and struggle to my feet.
I don't lightly dub non-dwarvish battle brothers.
We must seal it with blood.
You will bear this title in my mind at least until death do us part.
Wow, that escalated quickly.